At just 22 years old, she was thrown out of the mansion with nothing but the clothes on her back, no pay, no apology, just accusations and shame. But years later, something happened that turned her humiliation into the sweetest revenge of her life. What secret did Jessica hold that later made her the boss of the very man who destroyed her? Sit back with your popcorn and find out as we delve into this story. The morning sun poured through the tall windows of the Williams mansion. The marble floors gleamed under Jessica's mop. Her hands moved quickly, cleaning every corner with care. She had been working as a housemaid in this big house for almost 3 years. Every day she woke up at 5 a.m., prepared breakfast, cleaned the rooms, washed the clothes, and made sure everything was perfect before Mr. Oliver Williams woke up. Oliver Williams was one of the richest men in Lagos. He owned a successful import business and lived alone in his massive house. He was known for his sharp tongue and cold heart. People feared him. Even his own workers walked on eggshells around him. But Jessica was different. She worked hard and never complained. She needed the money. Her younger brother, Leo, was in his final year at the university, and their parents had passed away years ago. Jessica was his only hope that morning. As Jessica finished mopping the living room, she heard footsteps coming down the stairs. It was Mr. Oliver. He was dressed in a black suit, his face hard as stone. "Good morning, sir," Jessica greeted with a small bow. Oliver did not respond. He walked straight to the dining table and sat down. Jessica quickly served him his breakfast. Toast, eggs, and freshly squeezed orange juice, just the way he liked it. She stepped back and waited quietly in case he needed anything else. Oliver ate in silence. His eyes were fixed on his phone. Suddenly, he stood up and walked toward his study room. Jessica began to clear the table. A few minutes later, she heard a loud shout from the study. "Jessica, come here now." Her heart skipped. She dropped the plates carefully and hurried to the study. When she entered, Oliver was standing near his desk, his face red with anger. "Where is my gold watch?" he demanded. Jessica's eyes widened. "Sir, I don't know. I have not touched anything on your desk." "Don't lie to me," Oliver's voice thundered. "That watch was right here yesterday. Now it's gone. You are the only one who enters this room to clean." "Where is it?" Jessica's hands trembled. "Sir, I swear I did not take it. I would never—" "Enough," Oliver cut her off. He stepped closer, his eyes burning with fury. "I trusted you in my house. I gave you work. And this is how you repay me, by stealing from me." Tears filled Jessica's eyes. "Sir, please, I did not steal anything. Search my room, search my bag. You will not find it." Oliver's jaw tightened. "I don't need to search anything. I know what you did. That watch is worth millions." "You thought you could sell it and run away, didn't you?" Jessica shook her head, her voice breaking. "No, sir. Please believe me. I am not a thief." But Oliver was not listening. He pointed toward the door. "Get out of my house now." "You are fired." Jessica's legs almost gave way. "Sir, please at least pay me my salary for this month. I worked for 3 weeks. I need the money for my brother's school fees." Oliver's face showed no mercy. "You will not get a single naira from me. You are lucky I am not calling the police." "Now leave before I change my mind." Jessica stood there, her whole body shaking. Tears rolled down her cheeks. But she said nothing more. She turned and walked out of the study. Her heart was heavy, her mind confused. She had done nothing wrong, yet she was being thrown out like trash. She went to her small room at the back of the house. She packed her few belongings into a bag, 2 dresses, a pair of slippers, and a small Bible her mother had given her. As she zipped the bag, she whispered a prayer. "God, you know I am innocent. Please help me." With her head down, Jessica walked out of the mansion. The security guard at the gate stared at her but said nothing. The big iron gate closed behind her with a heavy sound. She stood on the street, alone, with nowhere to go for a moment. She thought about her brother. How would she pay his fees now? How would they survive? But Jessica did not cry again. She wiped her face and whispered to herself, "I will not give up, I will start again." That day, Jessica left the Williams mansion with nothing but her dignity. She did not know it yet. But that moment was the beginning of a journey that would change her life forever. And dear viewers, this is how the story of Jessica, the wrongly accused housemaid, began. Stay with us as we unfold this powerful journey of pain, perseverance, and destiny before the day of her dismissal. Jessica's life had been simple but full of purpose. She had grown up in a small neighborhood on the outskirts of Lagos. Her father was a carpenter, and her mother sold vegetables at the local market. They were not rich, but they were happy. Jessica had always been a bright girl. She loved school and dreamed of becoming a nurse one day. But when she was 18, tragedy struck. Her father fell from a ladder while working and died from his injuries. A year later, her mother fell sick with an illness the doctors could not cure. She passed away quietly in her sleep. Jessica was left with only her younger brother, Leo. He was 15 at the time and still in secondary school. Jessica knew she had to be strong for him. She dropped out of her own studies and began looking for work. That was when she heard about a housemaid position at the Williams mansion. The pay was good and there was accommodation. She applied immediately and was hired. For 3 years, Jessica worked hard. She sent most of her salary to Leo's school and saved a little for emergencies. She dreamed that one day, after Leo finished university, they would have a better life. She would go back to school, maybe open a small shop, but now, all those dreams felt shattered. After leaving the mansion, Jessica had nowhere to go. She could not afford rent. So she went to a friend, Linda, who lived in a one-room apartment in a crowded area. Linda opened the door and gasped when she saw Jessica's red eyes. "Jessica, what happened?" Linda pulled her inside. Jessica sat on the small bed and told her everything. The missing watch, the accusation, the dismissal without pay. Linda shook her head in disbelief. "That man is wicked. How can he treat you like that without even investigating?" Jessica sighed deeply. "I don't know, Linda. But what can I do? He is rich and powerful. Who will believe me?" Linda squeezed her hand. "Don't worry. You can stay here with me until you find something. We will manage." Jessica's eyes filled with gratitude. "Thank you, Linda. I don't know what I would do without you." That night, Jessica lay on a mat on the floor, staring at the ceiling. Her mind was restless. How would she pay Leo's fees? How would she survive? But then, she remembered something her mother used to say. "When one door closes, God opens another." Just keep walking. The next morning, Jessica woke up early. She told Linda, "I cannot just sit here and cry, I must find work." Linda nodded. "What will you do?" Jessica thought for a moment. "I will wash clothes. I know how to do it well." "Maybe people in this neighborhood need help." Linda smiled. "That is a good idea. Let me help you spread the word." So, Jessica began her new life. She went from house to house, offering to wash clothes for a small fee. At first, people were hesitant. But Jessica's work was so clean and neat that soon word began to spread. Within 2 weeks, she had 5 regular customers. Every morning, she would collect dirty clothes, wash them by hand, dry them, and iron them perfectly. The money was small, but it was honest work. She saved every naira she could. One evening, as Jessica folded clothes in Linda's tiny room, her phone rang. It was Leo. "Sister, are you okay? I have been trying to reach you." Jessica's heart tightened. She had not told him what happened. "I am fine, Leo. How is school?" "School is good. But sister, the fees, they said if I don't pay by next week, they will send me away." Jessica closed her eyes. She had only saved a small amount. It was not enough. "Don't worry, Leo. I will find a way. Just focus on your studies." When the call ended, Jessica sat in silence. Linda saw the pain on her face. "You need more money, don't you?" Jessica nodded. "I don't know what to do anymore." Linda leaned forward. "What if you expand, instead of just washing for individuals? What if you offer your service to small offices and shops?" They need someone to clean their uniforms and towels regularly. Jessica's eyes lit up. You think they will hire me? Why not? You are hardworking and reliable. Let's try tomorrow. The next day, Jessica and Linda walked around the neighborhood. They spoke to shop owners, restaurant managers, and small businesses. Some said no. Others were interested. By the end of the week, Jessica had 3 small businesses as clients. The money was better, slowly. She was able to send Leo's fees. It was not the full amount, but it was enough to keep him in school. Months passed. Jessica worked tirelessly. Her hands became rough from washing, but her spirit remained strong. She woke up at 4 a.m. every day, washed clothes, delivered them, collected new ones, and repeated the cycle. People began to respect her. They saw her dedication. One day, a woman named Mrs. Patricia approached her. Mrs. Patricia owned a small hotel in the area. Jessica, I have been watching you. You are very hardworking. I want to give you a contract. Can you handle washing all the bedsheets and towels for my hotel? Jessica could not believe her ears. Yes, Ma, I can do it. Good. I will pay you weekly. But you must be consistent. No delays. I promise, Ma. You will not regret it. That contract changed everything. The hotel had 20 rooms. Every day, there were piles of sheets and towels. Jessica could not do it alone, so she hired 2 other women from the neighborhood who needed work. She taught them how to wash and iron properly. Slowly, Jessica was no longer just a washerwoman. She was becoming a small business owner. 2 years passed. Jessica's small laundry service had grown. She now had 10 workers, and her clients included 5 hotels, 3 restaurants, and several offices. She saved enough money to rent a small shop where they could work. She bought washing machines and dryers. Her business had a name now, CleanWave Laundry Services. People in the neighborhood admired her. They said, "Look at Jessica. She started with nothing. And now she's employing others." But Jessica never forgot where she came from. She never forgot the pain of that day at the Williams mansion. And she never forgot the man who threw her out without mercy one evening as she locked up her shop. Linda came to visit. Jessica, I am so proud of you. Look how far you have come. Jessica smiled. I could not have done it without you, Linda. You believed in me when I had nothing. Linda hugged her tightly. You deserve everything, my friend. But tell me, do you ever think about that man, Mr. Oliver? Jessica's smile faded. Sometimes, but I have learned to let go. If he had not pushed me out, maybe I would still be a housemaid. Maybe this pain was meant to shape me into something stronger. Linda nodded. You are right. God works in mysterious ways. Jessica looked up at the sky. Yes. And I believe my story is not finished yet. Little did she know, the greatest chapter of her life was about to unfold. 5 years after Jessica was thrown out of the Williams mansion, her laundry business had grown beyond her wildest dreams. CleanWave Laundry Services was no longer just a small neighborhood shop. It had become a well-known cleaning company across Lagos and beyond. Jessica now had over 50 employees. She had opened 3 branches in different cities. And her services included not just laundry, but also deep cleaning for offices, hotels, and hospitals. Corporate clients trusted her. Her company had a reputation for excellence, punctuality, and professionalism. Jessica had moved out of Linda's one-room apartment years ago. She now lived in a modest but comfortable flat. Her brother, Leo, had graduated from university with honors and was now working as an engineer. Everything Jessica had sacrificed for him had paid off. She was proud, she was fulfilled, and most importantly, she had done it all with honesty and hard work. One afternoon, Jessica sat in her office at the head branch of CleanWave. The office was small but neat, with certificates of excellence hanging on the walls. Her phone rang. It was her operations manager, a sharp young man named Liam. Good afternoon, Ma. We just received a new contract proposal. From who? Jessica asked, leaning back in her chair. A company called Williams Imports. They need a cleaning service for their office complex and warehouse. It's a big contract, Ma. Very big. Jessica's heart skipped at the name. Williams. Could it be? Send me the details, she said, trying to keep her voice steady. Yes, Ma. I will email it now. When the email came, Jessica opened it slowly. Her eyes scanned the document. Company name, Williams Imports, contact person, Mr. Oliver Williams. Her hands trembled slightly. It was him, the same man who had accused her of theft. The same man who had thrown her out without pay? The same man who had humiliated her and crushed her dignity. Jessica sat back and closed her eyes. Memories flooded her mind, the cold look in his eyes. The way he shouted at her. The way he refused to listen. She had not seen or heard from him in 5 years. And now, here he was, asking for her services. Liam called again. Ma, should I respond? They want a meeting tomorrow to discuss the contract. Jessica was silent for a moment, then she spoke, her voice calm. Yes. Schedule the meeting. I will attend it myself. You, Ma. But you don't usually attend first meetings. This one is different. Liam. Trust me. The next day, Jessica dressed carefully. She wore a navy blue dress, simple but professional. Her hair was neatly styled, and she carried a leather folder. She looked like the successful businesswoman she had become. As she drove to the Williams Imports office, her heart pounded. She wondered if he would recognize her. She wondered how he would react when she arrived. The receptionist greeted her warmly. Good morning, you must be from CleanWave, please. This way. Jessica followed her down a long corridor. The office was large and modern, with glass walls and expensive furniture. It was clear that Oliver's business was still thriving. The receptionist opened a door. Please wait here. Mr. Williams will join you shortly. Jessica entered the conference room and sat down. She placed her folder on the table and took a deep breath. The door opened, and there he was. Oliver Williams walked in, dressed in a gray suit. His face as serious as ever. He carried a file in his hand and did not look up immediately. Good morning, he said in his usual cold tone. Thank you for coming. Then he lifted his eyes and he froze. His mouth opened slightly. His eyes widened. For a moment, he just stared. Jessica looked back at him calmly. She did not smile. She did not frown. She simply waited. Jessica. His voice was a whisper. Yes, Mr. Williams. It is me. Oliver blinked several times, as if he could not believe what he was seeing. You own CleanWave. Yes, I do. Silence filled the room. Oliver slowly sat down, still staring at her. His hands gripped the edge of the table. I don't understand. How did you? Jessica folded her hands on the table. After you fired me without pay and accused me of a crime I did not commit, I had to start from nothing. I washed clothes by hand for neighbors. I saved every naira. I built a small service, and over the years, that service grew into what you see today. Oliver's face went pale. He opened his mouth to speak. But no words came out. Jessica continued. Her voice steady but firm. You did not give me a chance to defend myself. You threw me out like I was nothing. I lost everything that day. But I did not give up. I worked hard. I stayed honest. And now? Here I am. Oliver lowered his head. His hands trembled slightly. Jessica, I don't know what to say. You don't have to say anything yet. Mr. Williams, you came here for business. Let us talk business first. Oliver looked up. His eyes filled with shame. But he nodded. For the next 30 minutes, they discussed the contract. Jessica remained professional. She explained her company's services, pricing and terms. Oliver listened quietly, nodding at intervals. When the meeting ended, Jessica stood up. We will send you a formal proposal by tomorrow, if you agree to our terms. We can begin work next week. Oliver stood as well. Jessica, wait please. She paused and looked at him. His voice was low, almost breaking. I owe you an apology. A very big one. I was wrong. I was angry that day, and I did not think. I accused you without proof. I threw you out without mercy. And I have regretted it ever since. Jessica's face remained calm, but her eyes showed the pain she once felt. Do you know what you did to me that day, Mr. Williams? You did not just fire me. You broke me. I had no money, no home. My brother almost dropped out of school because I could not pay his fees. I cried every night, wondering what I did to deserve such treatment. Oliver's eyes filled with tears. I am so sorry. I found the watch 2 weeks after you left. It had fallen behind the desk. I realized my mistake. But by then you were gone. I tried to find you. But no one knew where you went. Jessica, please forgive me. I know I don't deserve it. But please. Jessica was silent for a long moment. She looked at the man who once had all the power over her. The man who had made her feel worthless, but now she was the one in control. Mr. Williams, I forgave you a long time ago. Not because you deserved it, but because I needed peace. Holding on to anger would have destroyed me, so yes. I forgive you. Oliver's tears fell freely now. Thank you so much. Jessica picked up her folder. But let me tell you something. What you did to me, painful as it was, pushed me to become who I am today. If you had not fired me, maybe I would still be a housemaid. Maybe I would never have discovered my strength. So in a strange way, I am grateful. Oliver wiped his eyes. You are a better person than I ever was. Maybe. Or maybe life just taught me that karma works in ways we cannot control. You had power over me once today. I have power over this contract. But I will not treat you the way you treated me. I will give you fair service, fair pricing, and respect. That is the difference between us. Oliver nodded. Unable to speak, Jessica walked toward the door. Then paused. One more thing, Mr. Williams, treat people with kindness. You never know when the person you look down on today will be the one you need tomorrow. And with that, she walked out. Jessica awarded the contract to Williams Imports. Her company provided excellent service. Just as she promised over the following months, Oliver saw her team work with dedication and professionalism. He was impressed, but more than that, he was humbled. One day, he called Jessica. I want to do something for you to make up for what I did. Jessica smiled gently over the phone. Mr. Williams, you don't owe me anything. I have moved on. Please, let me at least support your business in some way. I have contacts. I can refer you to bigger clients. Jessica thought for a moment. All right, if you want to help me help others. I am planning to start a training program for young women who want to learn skills and start their own businesses. If you can sponsor that, it would mean a lot. Oliver's voice brightened. I will do it. I will sponsor the whole program. Thank you. Mr. Williams, that is very kind of you. And so, Oliver became a supporter of Jessica's foundation. He funded the training program. And many young women benefited from it. He had learned his lesson. And Jessica had shown him that true success is not just about wealth, but about character. Years later, CleanWave laundry services had become a household name across Nigeria. Jessica's company was now a multi-million naira enterprise with branches in several states. She employed hundreds of people, many of whom were women who had once struggled just like her. Jessica never forgot where she came from, and she made sure to lift others as she climbed. Her story became an inspiration. News articles were written about her. She was invited to speak at conferences and universities. Young entrepreneurs looked up to her as a role model. One evening, Jessica received a call from a television station. They wanted to feature her story on a popular program. Jessica agreed on the day of the interview. She sat calmly in front of the camera. The host smiled warmly. Jessica, your story is truly remarkable. From being a housemaid to becoming a successful business owner. What would you say to people who are going through hard times right now? Jessica looked directly into the camera. Her voice gentle but strong. I would say this. Your current situation is not your final destination. When I was thrown out of that house with nothing, I thought my life was over. But it was not the end, it was the beginning. Pain can either break you or build you. The choice is yours. Stay honest, work hard, believe in yourself, and never, ever give up. The host nodded. And what about forgiveness? You forgave the man who wronged you. Why? Jessica smiled softly. Because holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Forgiveness set me free. It gave me peace, and peace gave me strength to move forward. After the interview aired, Jessica's phone did not stop ringing. People called to thank her. Some cried as they shared their own stories of pain and struggle. Jessica listened to them all, encouraged them, and prayed with them. She had become more than a businesswoman. She had become a beacon of hope. Linda, her dear friend who had stood by her from the beginning, was now the director of operations at CleanWave. One day they sat together in Jessica's office, sipping tea. Do you remember the day I came to your door with nothing? Jessica asked. Linda laughed. How can I forget? You were broken, but even then, I saw fire in your eyes. You believed in me when I did not believe in myself. Because I knew who you were. Jessica, I knew you were not a quitter. They held hands and smiled. Their friendship had been tested by time and hardship, and it had only grown stronger. Leo, Jessica's younger brother, had also done well. He was now a successful engineer working with an international firm. He often told people, "Everything I am today, I owe to my sister. She sacrificed everything for me." Jessica always replied, "You are my reward, Leo. Seeing you succeed is my greatest joy." As for Mr. Oliver Williams, his life had changed too. His business, which had once been thriving, began to struggle. The economy was tough, and he made some poor investments. He was no longer the proud, arrogant man he used to be. He had learned humility the hard way, but because of his relationship with Jessica and the contract with CleanWave, his business did not completely collapse. Jessica's company continued to provide him with excellent service, and her referrals helped him gain new clients. He often said to himself, "If I had destroyed that girl completely, I would have destroyed myself too. Karma is real." One day, Oliver visited Jessica's office. He was not coming for business. He just wanted to talk. Jessica welcomed him warmly. They sat in her office, and for the first time, they spoke as equals. "Jessica, I just want to say thank you, not just for forgiving me, but for showing me what real strength looks like." Jessica smiled. "We all make mistakes, Mr. Williams. What matters is that we learn from them." Oliver nodded. "I have learned, and I want you to know, you are one of the most remarkable people I have ever met." "Thank you." That means a lot. As Oliver left that day, Jessica stood by the window and watched him go. She thought about the journey she had traveled. From a broken, jobless girl to a successful CEO. From shame to honor, from pain to purpose. She whispered a prayer. "Thank you, God, for turning my test into a testimony." And so, dear viewers, this is how the story of Jessica ends. The housemaid who was fired without pay became the boss of the very man who destroyed her. But she did not use her power to destroy him in return. She used it to teach him a lesson in humility, kindness, and grace. Jessica's story teaches us something very powerful. Life can humble anyone, but it can also raise anyone. Never look down on someone because of their present situation. The person you mistreat today may become the one you need tomorrow. Honesty, hard work, and forgiveness will always open doors that money cannot buy. And remember, karma is real. What you sow, you will surely reap. What do you think about Jessica's journey? Share your thoughts in the comment section. I would love to read from you. There is another very interesting story I will be uploading in a few days. So make sure you subscribe to my channel and turn on your notification bell so you will be the first to know when it drops. If you enjoyed this story, please hit the like button and share it with your friends. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next story.